Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins. The annual PlayStation experience is kicking off this weekend and all kinds of rumors are already flying well ahead of the event. At the top of the list is that we'll see an appearance of none other than Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding. This rumor comes by way of the trusty Shinobi 602, who's got a very strong track record when it comes to inside information. Shinobi indicated in a PSX thread on NeoGAF over the weekend that Death Stranding will be at PSX and that at the very least, we'll find out what engine the game is running. If you'll recall, Kojima went on a bit of a world tour earlier this year to test out technology for his new game, traveling to a number of different studios to see what would fit his needs best. No words on whether or not we'll see some actual gameplay or, more naked Norman Reedus, but considering we barely even understand the concept, we will take what we can get at this point, but especially if it's naked Norman Reedus. If you're trying to figure out what platform you should play Resident Evil 7 on, your decision might have just gotten a little bit easier, or a little bit harder if you're a PlayStation VR owner, because from the sound of it, Resident Evil 7 could be the first third-party Xbox Play Anywhere title. Japanese publication Dengeki is reporting that the Resident Evil 7 Windows Store version can share play data with the Xbox One version. IGN has also reported that when they reached out about this to Capcom, the company confirmed that the details in Dengeki's articles are correct. What they did not confirm, however, is whether or not the game would also be cross-buy in addition to cross-play, a feature that's been a staple of Microsoft's Play Anywhere initiative. Neither Microsoft or Capcom have announced that Resident Evil 7 is part of the program either. Up until now, most of Resident Evil 7's marketing focus has been on the PS4, particularly because it will have VR exclusivity through 2017, but the ability to swap saves between PC and Xbox would definitely be a big bonus for Xbox fans if it does have that cross-buy. Capcom isn't the only company playing nice when it comes to crossing platforms, because UBISOFT is apparently doing the same thing with all of their VR titles. The company announced this week that Eagle Flight is now playable cross-platform, whether you've got PlayStation VR or Oculus Rift, with cross-platform play coming to HTC Vive when that version comes out later this year. They also said the cross-platform functionality will extend to upcoming VR titles, Werewolves Within, which comes out December 6th, and Star Trek Bridge Crew, which comes out in March 2017. Red Storm creative director David Wojcicki said, "Our games feature a strong multiplayer experiences, so letting friends play together regardless of which headset they own will enhance the social nature of our games and let them be played the way we envisioned." This is definitely a step in the right direction for VR, especially as the player base continues to grow. Now, we just need more games to cross the aisles between PS4 and Xbox One. Come on, make it happen, Sony. Microsoft says it's all on you at this point. You can do it. Rocket League. Usually, when people hear the words No Man's Sky and Buggy in the same sentence, they make some basic assumptions. But apparently, the game might be getting the better kind of buggy in an upcoming update. Following the release of the Foundation update to No Man's Sky last week, one Redditor data mined the update's files and found references to an all-terrain land vehicle. After some tinkering, he got the partial vehicle model into the game along with the schematics, but don't get your hopes up just yet. It's not much more than a collisionless model at this point. Whether this is something Hello Games abandoned during development, or maybe plans to implement later on, or maybe it was a tool they had in the game so they could get around very quickly to check their work, all that remains to be seen. But adding a buggy to the game would go a long way to make planet exploration just a little bit less tedious. If you want to see the non-functional buggy for yourself, you can grab it over at No Man's Sky Mods and add something else to the game that doesn't work. After Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy leaked earlier this month, it looks like yet another Marvel game is leaking, this time in the form of Marvel vs. Capcom 4. Polygon is reporting that a number of their sources have told them Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is currently in development and slated for 2017 release. Supposedly, we'll see the game officially unveiled at PSX this weekend, so not long to wait, where we'll learn that this will be a little bit of a twist for normal Marvel vs. Capcom games, because the new entry will ditch the X-Men entirely in favor of tying in more closely with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. From the sound of it, you can expect to see more Guardians of the Galaxy, the Avengers, Ant-Man, and hopefully even Spider-Man battling it out against Capcom characters. Moving away from some of the X-Men would be a pretty big change for the series, one that might not sit well with some of its longtime fans, but considering Capcom hasn't had the license to update any of the old Marvel vs. Capcom games or make sequels in a few years, they might have to take what they can get. Now, we've known since last month that Nintendo plans on more fully discussing the Switch at a press event on January 12th. assuming there's anything left to reveal because it has not been leaked by then, but they've now confirmed that there will be another hands-on event in New York City the following day. According to a new Nintendo announcement, the New York City event will give further details on the information discussed at the January 12th event in Tokyo. The Tokyo event is for both investors and the press, but it will thankfully be live streamed on the web as well, because that's kind of Nintendo's thing now. But that's not the only Nintendo announcement this week, because the company also finally detailed more plans for their partnership with Universal Studios. In a new video published this morning, Shigeru Miyamoto and Universal's Mark Woodbury discussed their vision for Nintendo and Universal, with Nintendo attractions coming to Osaka, Hollywood, and Orlando's theme parks. The press release claims that these attractions will make you feel like you're playing Nintendo games in real life with innovative, immersive environments featuring a number of iconic Nintendo characters. Let's just hope that it doesn't require a lot of waggling. Now, if you ever wanted to take all your money and stuff it into a hole, why wouldn't you? The makers of Cards Against Humanity gave people the chance to do just that for Black Friday. As part of their annual ridiculous holiday traditions, Cards Against Humanity set up a crowdfunding portal for fans to give as much money as they wanted to dig a big, pointless hole in the ground. As long as the money kept coming in, they'd keep on digging. If you think there's no way that could have lasted very long, then you were completely underestimating the internet's ability to fund stupid things. All told, the dig lasted 3 days and cost you, the internet, just over $100,000 in donations. Let's be honest, we've done stupider stuff for Extra Life. Before anyone is too quick to judge the people that donated the money, please keep in mind that just about everyone else was waiting in lines at retail stores around the country at 5 a.m. to buy a bunch of shit they don't need anyway. So maybe we all lose. That's the real comfort here. The holiday weekend might have been good for shoppers and pointless hole enthusiasts, but it did not go so well for San Francisco's public light rail system. MUNI was apparently hacked over the weekend and held for ransom in exchange for 100 Bitcoin, or around $73,000. As a result of the hack, citizens basically got free transportation because payments and fees were down altogether. However, services have now been restored, which doesn't seem to be sitting too well with the hacker. Once MUNI was back up and running, the hacker threatened to release all data from the database for both employees and customers of the railway system. MUNI claims no customer data was breached during the intrusion, so it seems we're now locked in a really weird game of chicken. Earlier this year, a similar breach happened with a Hollywood hospital, resulting in a payment to the hackers of over $17,000 in bitcoins, or roughly 1.5 medical procedures. We'll see if the hacker actually follows through here, or if MUNI's data really did stay safe. MUNI might have stayed safe from ransom, we'll see, but nobody's safe from a raging, useless Pokemon. Pokemon Sun and Moon have barely been out for a week now, but one very, very patient Pokemon user has reportedly reached the Hall of Fame by beating one of the games with nothing but a Magikarp. The level 70 Magikarp, named Yashoku, that's dinner in Japanese, was prevented from turning into a Gyarados thanks to the evolution halting Everstone. Since Magikarp only have one extremely useless move, Flail, most battles were won by outlasting the opponent's PP, which resulted in the challenger using Struggle, a move that then hurts the user. All that sounds like the longest and most tedious playthrough of Pokemon ever, so go ahead and pack your bags, trainers, because no one is going to be the best like that guy. And that about does it for the holiday recapping roundup. Let us know what you think of all these stories in the comments below. And as always, for more news from every corner of the internet, like this video and subscribe to the know. You can teach us how to pronounce Pokemon better.
Liek.
Yeah. You should lick.
Fantasy 15 brain.
Would you like to lick the know?
Remember to lick this video.
Lick it real good.
Just tell people that. They'll do it.